Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurhanania binti Marhalim, and today I will make a brief explanation about our project, which is contactless water tap with soap dispenser. Firstly, we go to our flowchart. For our project, we are using two sensors. First is water tap sensor, and second is soap dispenser sensor. For the input section, the sensor will detect the presence of human hands, and then it will decide whether the hand is located between the detection range, which is from 30 cm to 300 cm. And if the condition is true, so the output will turn on. For our project, we are using the type of output which are motor and LED. So if the condition is yes, the motor will start rotating and LEDs will turn on. The condition is no, so the program will start again from the input section for the sensor to detect the presence of human hands.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And good day. My name is Ahmad Rashidi bin Ismail. My matrix number B081910319. So in this section, I will explain regarding to the input, output, and controller, which is used in our project title assignment, which is simple contactless water tap with soap dispenser. Okay, as you can see on the slide, so as introduction, briefly, any circuit consists of input, controller, and also output. So I will explain each component in input, controller, and also output. For the input section, in this our project assignment, we use the component which is ultrasonic sensor, the model of HC SR04. This sensor is used to measure the distance. It also can emit an ultrasound at 40,000 Hz or 40 kHz, which travels through the air, and if there is an object or obstacles on its path, it will bounce back to the module. So in this case, in our project, we use a hand. It will detect the hand, either it move forward or reverse. So once you detect the object, in this case hand, so it will transmit a signal to the controller input. So here there is basically it have four main input component, which is VCC for the voltage, triggering signal input, echo signal, and also the ground. So in this picture, it shows the basic connection for Arduino connect to the ultrasonic sensor HC-SR04. So what the important thing is you make sure the connection VCC, echo pin, triggering, and ground are connected in the good position. Okay, next. This is the main thing, our controller, which is we using the Arduino Uno, where it consists of variable of the input and the output. So basically, it's used the microprocessor type of Atmega 328. It also have several inputs, which is power pins, and also the analog pins starting with A0 until A5. It also have a reset button, ICSP header, also power LED, test LED 3 for internal signal, and then a transmitter and receiver LED, USB interface, and also the external power supply. Okay, next for the output. Okay, in this case we are using two output, which is the DC servo motor and also the LED as an indicator. Okay, let's start with the DC servo motor. So DC servo motor is an electrical device which can push or rotate an object in great precision. So what we can see is that servo motor is the right device to rotate an object at some specific angle or distance. In this case, our project, we use this servo motor to rotate the tap of the water tap, and also to dispense the soap, so it can be turned on and off. Okay, this is the basically connection when we connect Arduino Uno to the DC servo motor. Okay, last but not least, our second output is LED. So basically, this is used for as an indicator. Okay, so once the DC servo motor is function, so this LED will emit the light. Okay, let's see the theory. So it is a type of electrical signal where Arduino communicates with modules and sensors by switching on and off electrical current. So it's very similar to the ones and zero in binary code. So what we can see that when current is switched on, it is known as a high signal that's comparable to the 1 in binary code, and when the current is switched to off, it's a low signal. So it's very easy. So once in this case, once the LED is emits the light, it shows that it's in high signal, which is in 1 in binary code. So it shows there are some output function. So in this our project, we use 2 LED, where one LED for indicate the functioning of DC servo motor, and another LED is to indicate the functioning another DC servo motor. So this is the basically connection of LED from the Arduino Uno. That's all my presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Pidin Kibil. I am from Group 10, and today I am going to explain about my circuit and about my coding. So for this circuit, I am using 2 sensors, 2 LEDs, 1 Arduino Uno and 2 motors. So you can see for the output, when something is in range of the first sensor, the motor will turn on and also the LED will turn on. And as the same for the second sensor, when something is in this range, the motor will turn on for 1 second and then will rest for 3 seconds. And the LED will also turn on. This is for the soap dispenser. So let us go through the coding. Here you can see that the declaration for the first sensor, the second sensor, and the LEDs and the motor. So this is to declare the formulas, distance, and for the sensors. In the setup, we are declaring the output and input for the sensors and the 2 motors. So in the void loop, the first one, we have set the 2 LED to low and the motor 1 to also to low. So in this line, we are sending the click pin 1, echo pin 1, which is the first sensor, to sensor detection function, and in this function it will return distance and we map it to sensor 1, and the same goes to the sensor 2. So you can see in the sensor detection function, we are reading the sensors pin. We are taking two pin that is from sensors. The first part is we have to set the click pin low, wait 5 seconds, high, and wait a second and set it to low again. This is to make sure the reading is accurate. So when we set the echo pin to high, we set it to the duration and then change it to centimeter. So then this will return back to this, and then we'll map to sensor 1. There are 2 arguments. The first argument is if sensor 1, in this line we have set the range detection for water sensor. So sensor 1 is for water sensor. So if sensor 1 is above 30 and below 300, that is in centimeter, it will do this function. So in this step water action function, we are setting the first LED and the first motor to high. So in the second argument, when sensor 2 is same parameters, above 30 and below 300, it will do this function, that is soap dispenser function. So in the soap dispenser function, we are setting the LED to high and the motor 2 to high, and then wait for 1 second, and then we set the motor to low and then wait 3 seconds. So in this the last line, we have set for the all program to delay for 250 milliseconds. That is all. Thank you.
Hello, good day everyone. My name is Nicholas Joseph. I'm from 3BEEE 1/1. I would like to explain my part to explain the connections and the components. Okay, after the flowchart, I would like to explain the input and output control, including data presentation element, provides model and specification. For first one, for the input, we have the ultrasonic distance sensor, which is ACSR04. For an ultrasonic sensor is the measure distance through the ultrasound, which travel through the air. The ultrasound hits any object or obstacles, it automatically bounce back their frequencies. For example, water tap sensor, soap dispenser, like that. So one of the most popular ultrasonic sensor would be ACSR04. The configuration pin ACSR04 is VCC1, figure 1, echo 3 and ground 4. The supply voltage of VCC is 5, the attached trigger and the echo pin to any digital input output in your Arduino board. Power specification for power supply, working current, and then work frequency 40 Hz its range is distance for 2 cm to 400 cm, which is approximately 4 meters. Then the resolution is 0.3 cm, measuring angle 15 degree, trigger input pulse with white, and then dimension 45 times 20 times 15 millimeter. Next, I would like to explain about the output of DC motor. It is a type of electrical machine that converts electrical energy into machine. It takes electrical power through direct current and convert this energy to mechanical rotation. Motor distance is 2.36 mm. Motor height is 2.7 mm. Okay, the output shaft diameter is 2 mm. Output shaft length is 7 mm. Testing voltage is 3 to 9 volt. Rate voltage is DC 0 to 6 volt. Then rated current is 0.68 and power rating is 1.2 volt. Input LED, the lighting emit diode is a semiconductor light source that emits lights when the current flows through it. Let's see the features. The diameter is 5 mm, normal brightness, luminous intensity, then typical forward voltage is 3 voltage, and then maximum continuous current is 30 mA, then maximum pulse current is 100 mA. Okay, finally we are going to see the controller, which is Arduino Uno 5 volt. Arduino Uno is a programmable microcontroller. It open source electronic prototype platform. It interacts with user by receiving input with the aid of sensor and provide the output employ LED, buzzer, DJ motor, and others. Okay, the specification is microcontroller 80 mega 3 to 8P, operating voltage 5 voltage, input is 7 to 12 voltage, input voltage limit is 6 to 20 voltage, and then digital input output pin is 14, of which 6 provide for pulse wave modulation outputs. Then the PWM digital input output pins are 6, analog input pins are 6, and then DC current per input and output pin are 20 mA. Okay, these are the flowchart. Okay, I will explain how these things function. Once you command and build this coding to set this microcontroller to work, so each and every input and output with the ground are set and connected to its pin terminal. Once the power supply is on and then the signal is transferred, receive, it automatically deliver the signal to the as an output. That's how this thing works for both three things, which are LED, ultrasonic, and DC motor. Okay, thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Ahmad Fadlan. I will brief about on how the system works. So as being asked in the question, we need to design a simple contactless water tap with soap dispenser. The system will turn on and off the water tap without the user need to rotate the knob and dispense soap. So firstly, the sensor here will detect if there were any motion detected or not. If yes, one of the sensor will send the input signal to the microcontroller. Note that both sensors can detect simultaneously at the same time. Same with the output, which is LED here, and motor inside the case of the dispenser. Microcontroller will send the signal to the motor. The rotation of the motor will cause soap and water come out of its designated places. So at the same time, LED will turn on here. Depends on which motor function. The LED are used to indicate either soap or water are coming out. Both sensors also can detect motion in range of 30 to 300 cm. The soap dispenser will push out the soap in every 3 seconds when the sensor detects a motion. If it's still detecting, it will stop for 3 seconds and come out again for 3 seconds. This process will repeat again and again if it is still detecting. So we use sensor 1 is for water and sensor 2 for soap. So here are the circuit. So let's see a quick short video of the circuit. After completing this project, we are able to understand the whole instrumentation system or data acquisition system, which includes sensing element, signal conditioning or processing element, and data presentation element. The relationship between the whole system with input and output also gives us big understanding toward the subject requirements. Moreover, we also get use of Tinkercad application, which the circuit was built in there. The Tinkercad is a free, easy to use app for 3D designs, electronics and coding. We need to ensure the connection or integration between each component are correct. Last but not least, we are getting familiar in constructing code to build a system by using Arduino Uno. It contains everything needed to support the microcontroller. Simply connect it to a computer with a USB cable or power it with a AC to DC adapter or battery to get started. I think that's all from us. Hope all of our presentation meets your scoring rate. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.